Austin 316 says I just whipped your... You sit there and call yourself the gorilla, yet you hee-haw out here like a jackass. What? I said shut up. You can kiss my ass.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.
What? And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is a very special edition, and it's a watch-along with our pals from Talking Taker, Alex and Travis. I'm Mike Prue along with JV as always, and like I said, we got our special guest. And it's not the first time that you've heard them. They've been on our show a couple of times, so I'd like to welcome back Alex and Travis to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. How are you guys?
Doing well. Thank you for having us on here. We appreciate it. We're, we've been brother podcasts with y'all for, man, how long have y'all been going now?
We've been going since September of 2018. So a year and a half, a little over a year and a half at this point. And you guys have been going at it for a while, a year longer, I think.
Yeah, so. It'll be coming up on 3 years in August.
Yeah, we're 2.5 years old, man. So.
So that's awesome. Yeah, I was just taking a look at the shows that we've done together, prior to this. It seems like we do at least one every 5 months or so with each other. So we did one back in July, and that was just Alex came on this show and did the Fatal 4-Way from Capital Carnage,
right?
UK pay-per-view. And we also did the Buried Alive match from Rock Bottom in December '98. And then we did your show. Travis had some kind of situation, he wasn't able to make it. So we jumped in, did Fully Loaded '98. Stone Cold and The Undertaker teamed up against Kane and Mankind. And then just less than a month after that, in November, this past November, we did another Bottom Line Wrestling Cast for Fully Loaded '99, Stone Cold versus The Undertaker. So this is our fourth time together, and our second time as a Fatal 4-Way.
Well played.
Very fitting.
And that's what we're going to have coming up on this show, is that we'll be covering the UK pay-per-view Rebellion from 2000, from, was it December? Yeah, the early December 2000, December 2nd. So we'll be covering that, and I'll give kind of a little rundown of the undercard, and then we'll get into the watch-along portion of this episode, which is going to be an uncovered match from Talking Taker. And that is the match between The Undertaker and Chris Benoit. So, exclusive here on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. Alex and Travis watching the match that they didn't want to spend the time watching when they did their episode. They didn't want to spend the whole episode talking about Chris Benoit, and that makes sense.
For obvious reasons.
Right.
It's also, there's no storyline to this really, and it's there's not a lot to it, but we're happy to give you guys the exclusive on it.
Awesome. So that's what we have coming up, and then we also have the main event, which will be the Fatal 4-Way match between Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Rikishi, and we had The Rock. I believe Triple H was supposed to be in that match, but he was injured, some back injury, and I believe The Rock replaced him. I think Rikishi was still supposed to be in that match. But imagine if it was the other way: Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Kurt Angle. That's a big time match right there.
Yeah,
no, that's a huge. That's a WrestleMania main event right there, man.
Right. But instead, they were pushing Rikishi at this time. They just kept him in the main event scene until they finally realized that we got to get him out of there. Get him dancing with Too Cool again. All right. So, I said to the audience, they probably heard you guys before, and if they've listened to an episode of the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, they hear your plugs. But let's hear it from you guys live. So, where can you be found with Twitter and all that? Inform our fans here, our listeners.
I think I did it last time, Travis. You want to take it?
No, because I don't know all our Twitter handles. No, to be honest. Enough. Yeah, I don't know all of them, so no, that would be terrible for me to do it. I'll run it into the ground.
Well, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Talking Taker. You hear me say it every week, Travis, but he's not on all the social media stuff. He's got 3 kids to worry about, so we don't blame him for that. But yeah, we're available there. And, we release our episodes every Friday or real late Thursday night, week by week, going through every match of The Undertaker's pay-per-view career. And you can find us pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, all that stuff. And we are currently in the middle of 2008. We just wrapped up the Undertaker and Edge storyline with Vicky Guerrero, which, Travis, am I correct in saying that's probably one of our top 3 or so storylines we've covered in the history of the show?
Oh, absolutely. Without question, man. It was insane. It was fantastic to talk about, wonderful to go over. And, I'm a huge Batman mark, and I bring out so much Batman as much as I can on the show. And we pretty much just set the table and knocked it down with this Batman references with Edge and Undertaker. It's been fantastic. So it was awesome. And we had to come to a screeching halt and go back to Big Show.
Oh, jeez.
No, the Big Slow.
And he's going to be around for a while, right? Like 3-4 matches in a row?
Yeah, like the rest of the year. So.
Yeah, 2008 is literally 5 Edge matches and 3 Big Show matches.
Jeez, the year of Edge and Big Show.
Wow.
All right, so check out Talking Taker, and they've been going at it for a while. You guys, 141 episodes in this week?
Yeah, this week will be 141, and I was doing some work on it earlier in the week. We've got about, I think, under 40 left, so we're on the home stretch.
Wow. Jeez. We joked about this before. We'll probably be done around the same time, or even before you guys.
Well, we need to have you guys on our show another time as well before we finish it all out. So we'll figure something out.
Awesome.
But the show keeps growing at this point, is like with Taker still showing up, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have an end date yet.
Right. You guys have the benefit of having an end date. We don't have that because he keeps wrestling. And if he's going to keep going in boneyard matches, he might go another decade.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if they do, they can bring back people from so long ago. They can have another Mankind Undertaker Buried Alive match.
He could finally have his match with Sting in a boneyard.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many ways to use this new format that they've used it before, but now it's going to be a thing, without a doubt, especially with the Undertaker.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think even when we get to a point where they're able to have normal wrestling shows again, I think they'll still do more stuff like this because it allows them to have even more creativity and flexibility. And like you guys said, use guys that may not be able to have a normal match anymore, but could still do something like this.
Right. Well, I think what they should do is not do these on big shows like WrestleMania. They should make them network exclusive, so it's not so you don't have an arena filled with people watching something on a big screen. You just get everybody to watch it at home.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it would be weird if you pay like $100 for a ticket and it's like, oh yeah, I watched the match on the Titantron.
Well, like the Boiler Room Brawl, they watched it on television's ringside. They had like 4 TVs set up ringside, so
yeah, like they were in a high school classroom.
Yeah, exactly. Like you had this substitute teacher that she wheeled in the big laser disc.
Right.
Nailed it.
Yeah. All right, so I'll give our plugs now, JV. we're at Bottom Line Cast on Twitter. You can follow me, Mike Prue, at MPRU83, and JV is at John Van Damage. Also, you can check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to that. We got a whole of about 12 people subscribed to that. So maybe that can grow over time. And all it is really, it's not any exclusive content. It's just our episodes. But some people like to listen on YouTube. It's another avenue to go to find your podcast. So check us out on YouTube, the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. All right, so I do want to bring up, a bit of, all the things that are going on in the world. We're aware of that, and when we got on the phone here or on the computers here with Alex and Travis, we talked about all our situations, and we're all doing fine. We're all going crazy. It's funny to say that anyway. We're fine, we're okay, but we're crazy.
I think that's the whole world right now.
Just like everybody else, and we don't want to, be doom and gloom about it or anything. We just want to say, everybody, hopefully you're following whatever procedures your state is telling you to, and you're not totally dismissing it, because people are trying to do their best to stay home and go crazy like many of us are. So don't take it for granted that your life's more important than someone else, and your lifestyle is more important than somebody else's lifestyle. Don't be flipping out because you can't get a haircut while other people are stuck at home with hair down to their ass now. I don't know. But actually, I shaved my head, so I was like, screw it. I'm not dealing with this crazy hair. I'm shaving it off.
That's awesome.
Just buzzed it.
Well, in the name of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean...
well, I didn't go that far.
Oh.
But yeah, so we're doing fine. We don't want to just talk all about that, but we wanted to let you know that we did talk about it and make sure that we're all doing good here. The
So,
Bottom
Mike,
Line
you
Wrestling
have more of
Cast.
more of like a ringmaster buzz cut?
Yes, yeah, more
Yeah,
like the ringmaster. Yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate. I seen the picture.
All right, so just wanted to bring that up, get that out of the way, and now it's time to enjoy some wrestling, some old school wrestling, going back to the year 2000, and it's the Rebellion pay-per-view from the United Kingdom, and it's going to take place in Sheffield, England. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the undercard, and if anybody has any comments about these matches or any of the storylines at that point, just chime on in as I go through this. All right, so the show starts off with Mick Foley and Deborah arriving. So they made the trip to go over to England. They pull up in their vintage British car. I couldn't think of what the hell the kind of name of the car was, so I'm like, British car. How very well it could have been cars like that in the United States back in the 1940s or something. But it's just a typical old-fashioned car that you see, and they pull up in that. And then you have the commentary team is Jim Ross and Taz. Now, Taz is dipping his toe into commentary around this time, being on Sunday Night Heat. I think he was on Sunday Night Heat at this time.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
And they had transitioned him out of wrestling. I don't know why. They ruined his character, like straight off the bat. He had that great debut against Kurt Angle at Royal Rumble. And then from there, it's like, all right, here, wear these pants, wear this cut-off, button-down shirt, and go look like a fool in the ring, and get into a feud with Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross.
Yep.
And then with that said, Taz is on commentary with Jim Ross like everything's all cool now.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Didn't he smash a glass candy jar on his head like 2 months before this?
Right.
Yeah.
That random candy jar.
Oh, yeah. Just it needed a candy jar sitting there on the commentary table.
Because there's always been a candy jar.
Right.
So random.
But the funny thing is, Travis has brought this up on our last few shows because they're the commentary crew on SmackDown in 2008. They're still together in AEW in
Yes.
2008.
Yeah, you're right.
How crazy is
Jim
that?
Ross was on commentary with Taz in 2008.
Yeah, he got
SmackDown
switched.
for a little while.
Yeah,
Oh,
he got switched
okay.
to SmackDown in the draft, like for a shoot. He had no
that's
idea,
right.
and he almost quit.
Yeah.
And it's him and
Yeah, he was
Taz.
pissed about that.
Which I think is funny because like I said, in 2020 they're on AEW together, which is just crazy. How things 20 years. We're talking about a match from 20 years ago, You still got JR. I mean, yeah, JR and Taz on the commentary. It's just crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so from there, we move on to opening segment. It's Mick Foley, and Mick Foley's going to make fun of Triple H's nose. He's doing the whole promo style, Holly Race, big nose, the Triple H voice. And Mick announces that there's going to be some changes to the main event. Triple H is not in the main event, and it's going to be no DQ, no count out. Whoever gets the pinfall wins the championship. So Angle comes out. He's bitching and moaning about it. But Mick Foley tells him his decision is final. He was trying to get that over as a big-time catchphrase.
Yeah, that was not one of his best.
No.
Yeah, it didn't go over well. didn't stick.
He could have just stuck with "Have a nice day" after every decision.
That's a good point.
All right, so now we get into the matches. So we got an elimination table match. It's the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian and Test and Albert.
Not quite the
Next,
Hardy
please.
Boys, Edge and Christian and Dudley Boys. Something's not quite right here.
Right. You expect the Hardy Boys to be in the match, but Test and Albert.
Right.
The only thing good about Test and Albert is Trish Stratus. But what happens in this match, real briefly, is that Albert gets slammed through a table. They're the first team to be eliminated, of course. Comes down to Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys, as you would expect. Dudley Boys win the match. And at this point, the Right to Censor is currently the champions. But
Yes.
they will soon lose those titles a week later at Armageddon. And JV and I actually talked about that last week because we're a little ahead from this. So this is happening December 2nd. We got up to Armageddon on last week's episode, which, thinking back now, we should have asked you guys to do the watch along for the Armageddon the main event. So at least the Undertaker's in that match with Stone Cold.
Well, are you guys going to do that on a future show?
Maybe down the road. We won't do it soon because
Yeah.
It was a great match, so we could.
Well, maybe we can have you guys over on our show and do that one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
Great idea.
I like the spot though where Rikishi falls into the truck. It's supposed to be like a choke slam, but it's more of like a shove.
Oh
it
yeah,
really is.
he just trips backwards into a
Yeah.
pile of rabbit feed.
Yeah, what was it? Was it hay or sawdust?
It's
I
like
don't know
wood.
what
It's
it
like wood. Yeah, it's like wood chips for a rabbit cage or something. I don't know.
Stone Cold's face after is priceless.
Yes. Yeah.
Everybody looks pretty shocked. The strange thing that happens, though, everybody else gets down and gets back into the ring, and you have that final moment where they're all hitting each other with their finishers and then taking each other off, and Angle sneaks in there and gets the pin. The Undertaker never shows up again
Nope.
in that match.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
He pushes Rikishi off, and then he disappears. Like, I'm out of here.
My work here is done.
Yeah, I'm all set. I don't need to win this match. All right, anyway, so we move on, and Right to Censor, they lose the titles at Armageddon, and I was thinking, Dudley Boys should have been in the title scene at this point. They're just hanging around, involved in these matches, but never getting the title shots in late 2000. They've already had the titles earlier in 2000, but at this point, they're not putting the straps on them at all. That's
Yeah,
what
all I
was
really remember about that time, I remember so many great matches, but I couldn't tell you who was champ when. I just felt like the
Yeah.
tag titles were changing almost every week.
Right. It's always Edge and Christian, the Hardys, Dudleys, even Right to Censor here.
The censor had it, yeah.
And they stuck around way too long, longer than I thought.
Oh, right.
Oh, not long
Censor?
enough for Travis.
Not long enough for me. I'm a honorary member. And I was in. You guys didn't see that video. I was inducted by the Good Father as an
That's
honorary
right.
member of the Right to
Were
Censor.
you?
Yes, I was.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I'm going to start defending that now.
it was my birthday last year, right, Alex?
Yeah, it was your birthday present last year.
Last year. So the Godfather cameo of me and inducted me into the Right to Censor. as an honorary Indian.
That's awesome.
And then,
Freaking
and then we
awesome.
got to meet him a few months ago when we met Taker in New York, right before the
Yeah, got a
coronavirus
picture with
took the world down. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's something I did want to mention is that you guys were able to sneak in that trip to New York right before things got crazy.
Yes.
Man, because a week later, they would have probably canceled the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure if the event wasn't canceled, I'm not sure we would have been able to go. Anyway, I mean, it's just incredible how the timing worked out.
Yeah. So lucky there. And then we actually talked about you meeting them, I think it was last week or the other week before. Actually, it was Survivor Series. We covered Survivor Series a couple weeks back. So I brought up the story of you talking to the Godfather about the pants.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did mention that.
And how he said, "No, I'm bigger than the Undertaker. He won't even fit in those pants."
Yeah, we put that wrestling myth to bed.
That's right. And it's something I didn't even realize until you guys talked about it. You talked about it way back when you covered
When we
Survivor
covered that pay-per-view, yeah.
Right. So I looked online after that. I was like, oh yeah, other people have been mentioning this online for a few years. About the
Well, they're
pants.
such strange pants, and Undertaker never wears anything like that ever again.
Yeah.
Right. It totally does seem like a situation where he's like, shit, I lost my pants. like, like maybe Godfather has something because he's one of the biggest guys around that maybe I fit
Right.
that they fit into it kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
But
funny.
if he really lost his pants, why wouldn't he just go to Walmart and pick up a pair of jeans? Because
Right.
that's what he normally wrestled in. So we definitely think whoever Sarah or whoever his wife was at the time stitched him up some fancy pants or something. He felt good about him that night.
Or maybe it was one of the rare times that the Undertaker was brought to the backstage court, and the ruling was you got to wear these pants.
I like that theory. Yeah.
And Godfather gave him the pants, but Godfather has to keep quiet about it because outsiders like you and Travis can't know about the inner workings of that.
Yes.
Oh.
I like this conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's a BSK conspiracy.
Right. All right, so let's move on into the card. We have the Women's Championship, and that's Ivory versus Lita. This is nothing much here, but the one thing at this time period that got me going as a kid was Lita's thong popping out the back. That's and what I thought was funny on commentary is Taz is trying to be like Jerry Lawler throughout this show. He's trying to come up with his own catchphrases, and he's all worked up about, the thong, and he's also wondering, I wonder what's under Ivory's high water pants. Like, like her character is you're not supposed to be attracted to her, but Taz is, he can't help himself. He's like, I want to see what's under those pants.
Does he call her a tomato?
A tomato.
A tomato.
He always called them tomatoes. Girls, they're tomatoes. That's one hot tomato right there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, later in the show, when he's talking about China, he's calling her puppies biscuits. He calls them biscuits instead.
Mm.
So he's just trying to come up with his own catchphrases.
Yes, not quite working.
No.
Stick to the suplexes, my friend.
Yeah. Kata Hajime.
And that too, exactly.
Yeah. I've heard that. I haven't seen it spelled, I don't think, ever. So every time I say it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's what it sounds like to me.
No, I couldn't tell you how to spell it. That or shillelagh. That's both of us, I think, Travis. In our notes, we never know how to spell shillelagh.
I look it
There's
up
a lot
every
of-
week, yeah.
A lot of Finn Finley matches.
Yes.
All right, so nothing. That match really is nothing other than, just Taz on commentary.
I
but it
spell
did remind
Kata
me-
Hajime Tazzmission.
Taz mission.
Taz mission. There you go.
Sorry,
So,
go ahead.
No, that's all right. So one other thing that popped out obviously is like, wow, what a different culture 20 years
Yes.
ago was.
Oh, yeah.
It's strange though, because you would think as time goes on, people would become more accepting of saying these types of things in public, but it's become the opposite. So like throughout the 80s into the 90s and into the late 90s, that's when it finally became acceptable to say those things, and then it reverted right back to the other way.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
the
almost like we're
pendulum is
back
swung
into the
backwards.
80s.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't say these things on TV anymore, so at all or
Right.
in person. Yeah, it's yeah. Who knows? The pendulum may swing back the other way one day, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, we move on from there. You have a hardcore championship match. This is the time where there's almost every single match is a title match. And you would think that'd be a
Yes.
great thing. Like, oh, yeah, it's a title match. It means something. But now it means nothing because there's so many titles.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes less is more, not more is more.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. A lot of times, less seems like more in wrestling.
Yeah, definitely back to the days where it was just the IC title, the world title, and the tag titles. And sometimes there wouldn't even be one of those titles on the line. So it just made it exciting. Like, I'm going to see something special possibly. But at this point,
But
nothing special.
I tell you what, at this point in time, late 2000, hardcore champion Steve Blackman was one of my absolute
Absolutely.
favorite wrestlers, and Travis can attest to that.
Yeah.
Oh no, he was awesome at this point. He's found his groove right here.
Yes, there's like a 3-month window when he was awesome.
Oh yeah.
So in this match, he retains against Perry Saturn, and I was surprised with the wrestling because it's usually pretty hardcore with Steve Blackman, but he's actually wrestling with Saturn, and that's probably thanks to Saturn.
Oh yeah.
Kinda carrying
he
the
was a
match.
mechanic in the ring. I love Saturn
Right.
back in the day.
So it's actually a decent match and not the typical hardcore style match until the very end when he kicks him in the face with the steel chair and gets the win. And then from there, you get another title match. It's the European Championship, and William Regal is the champion, and he's back home. He's back in England, and the crowd doesn't really seem to care about Regal. Maybe it's like 50-50, but it's coming across like they don't like him. So they're booing him, and you got a lot of thumbs down. And Regal heads out there. He starts talking crap to the audience. But what I did notice, and I posted a tweet of this the other day as I was watching this, and just out of nowhere, I'm just glancing up at the TV. I see Harry Potter. I was like, all right, that's got to be Daniel Radcliffe because they're in England. So I pause it, take a look at it. It's Daniel Radcliffe and it's Matthew Lewis, who plays Neville Longbottom in the Harry Potter series.
Oh, no shit.
So they're in attendance there, and this was actually just days before they filmed the first film.
I was going to say, didn't it come out in 01, I think, or 02 maybe? So they had to have been just filming it at this point. That's crazy.
Yeah, this was, I guess, a present from the production team to bring the kids to wrestling prior to shooting. So
yeah, you blew my mind with this when you
Yeah.
posted it. I could not believe it. Like at first, I thought, no, it just looks like them. But you zoom in, I mean, that is them.
That's them,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I believe it was more than them. It wasn't just the two of them, but that's what we see on camera. But it was like most of the kids were brought to the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he actually, I looked online, and obviously I'm not the first person to notice it. So there have been many other posts about it, and I guess Daniel Radcliffe had said something about it a few years back that he remembers going to the show.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. He called it Insurrection, though. He got the name wrong. That would be the next pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
Yeah, he was there. We see you. We know you were there.
Yeah.
So anyway, Regal gets the 3 count, but Crash's foot is on the rope, so we're going to get a strange little scenario here. You're going to get Molly Holly, who tells the ref that he was cheating, and his foot were on the rope, and so the referee starts the match over again. And Crash goes for a roll-up when Regal is kind of like, what's going on here? So he gets the sneak-up roll-up and makes the 3 count, and Crash wins the European Championship. This would be short-lived because Regal is going to get it right back the next night, or the next Monday on Raw. And JV and I, we did cover that last week, but here it is Crash Holly, European champion, just to work the European crowd, basically.
Yeah, that's
it didn't
the
seem to
house
work
show
because
thing to pop the crowd, just so they have a title change, so something exciting happened, basically.
right, yeah, exactly. Yep, because these are essentially like house shows, really.
Yes.
And then after the match, Regal attacks Crash and Molly, and he actually like stomps on Molly's head, which I thought was pretty brutal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Regal actually takes the belt with him and leaves with it, which is funny because they probably told, just take the belt. Don't even let Crash pack it in his bag. It's yours the next night, so just keep it. Just hang on to it. You didn't really lose. And then we go on, and we have Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko, the Radicals, against Billy Gunn and China. And they recap. Yeah, definitely yikes. Billy Gunn and China. That is probably one of my least favorite things going on at this point. The
So
one
bad.
Billy Gunn.
The one.
Another singles push failed.
So they go back and they kind of recap the whole Eddie Guerrero cheating scandal when GTV caught Eddie in the shower with Victoria and Mandy.
Who is Mandy?
Mandy's the blonde. But Victoria, at this point, she wasn't wrestling
she's just
at
one
all.
of the Godfathers.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. And now that he's not the Godfather anymore,
That's right.
they're off doing their own thing. So Eddie gets caught. China breaks up with him. All that, whatever. So they have their match here. Billy Gunn's going to get the pinfall on Dean Malenko. And as I said before, this is when Taz is going to call China's guns her biscuits. Those aren't cannons.
Biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy. All right, so actually, China's not even in wrestling gear either. I thought was funny. She's wearing white boots, black bike shorts, and a white tank top with the British flag on it.
Wow.
And this might sound crazy. I don't know where you guys stand with China, but at the time in 2000, at 17, and growing up seeing her the way she was when she first came in, I was just never a fan of China. I always thought she was ugly. But now looking 20 years later from a 37-year-old's eyes, I'm like, China's not bad.
Oh, no, absolutely. Once, 2000, 2001, yeah, I was fine with China.
Oh, you were fine back then?
Yeah, I was fine back then.
Yeah, same here.
Man, I must have been too picky.
Come back down, buddy.
Yeah, I've come down, way down now.
Way down.
Yeah, another one too that I had nothing for at the time. That going through all this now, I'm like, oh shit, how did I miss out on her? And that's Molly Holly.
Oh,
I was
cute.
always a huge fan of
yeah,
Molly.
from day one, I was into Molly Holly.
I liked Molly Holly when she was in WCW as Mona, Miss Madness. She was one of Macho Man's girls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed out on that. So,
It was her and Medusa and somebody else were Macho Man's, I guess, lackeys or whatever. And then she went to WWE and became Molly Holly. So, yeah, I was always a fan of hers.
Yeah, I didn't know where she came from either. I don't remember that. I know Macho Man had his period where he was going through a midlife crisis, so he had to be around young chicks.
Oh, it was Gorgeous George. That's who it was.
Yes.
George.
Yeah, that's right.
Gorgeous
Right.
George, Medusa.
And Medusa.
And Mona, yeah.
Gorgeous George. Didn't she get the Macho Man get the rights to Gorgeous George's name?
I
And
believe
that's
so.
why she was
that's
able to
right.
use it? Because
I
it was
believe
his real life girlfriend.
Yeah, and she was 11, so it's creepy.
All right, let's move on to the next match. And
Yeah.
in the next match, it's Kane and Chris Jericho going at it for the 100th time around this period, where their feud started off with Chris Jericho spilling coffee on Kane, and then
Classic.
and then Jericho's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't burn you." Oh, sorry, man. And then Kane, from that point, is mad at Jericho because Jericho's good looking and he's hideous, and he wants to rip Jericho's face off. So that's where we go from there. And they have a series of matches. They have a match at Survivor Series. They have a match here. They have a match at Armageddon. So They're just going at it. And Kane's going to win this match. And then Jericho's going to attack him on the ramp after the match. But the crowd loves Jericho in England. When he makes his entrance, he's like the biggest star. He gets one of the loudest pops of the night prior to the main event pops that you would expect from The Rock and Austin and even The Undertaker. So, Chris Jericho, over in England, for sure.
Oh yeah,
We
one of the
love
best pops
Jericho.
ever. Us too. One of the biggest pops was when he won the title for like 10 minutes back in April this year.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, what
He
a
covered that.
tease
That
that
was
was.
awesome.
What a tease.
It's almost like they were just testing.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's
testing
the
waters.
crowd say if we do this?
And the crowd said, "Please freaking give it to us," and they didn't do it.
Right.
They waited till December of the next year. So.
Yeah.
Right. And at that point, he wasn't. I mean, they built him back up, but he had lost some steam going through some of those feuds in the meantime there.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't remember. Did he ever win the title as a face? Or was he always a heel?
He was always a heel, I believe.
Yeah.
That's crazy because of how big that pop was.
Yeah.
Right.
When you say April 2000, how over he was, and yet he was always a heel when he won the title. Interesting.
And then one last match before we get into our watch-along portion. It's the WWF Tag Team Championship match. Right to censor. And the team that was missing from the other match, the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys should have been in that other match. But here you have Right to Censor and the Hardy Boys. And they're going to have the Right to Censor find a way to hang on to the titles again, which is happening over and over again. They're defending their titles every show, or whether it's Raw, SmackDown, and they keep sneaking out victories. And I did want to say something. We were talking about Right to Censor earlier, and how Travis is a member of it. The only reason why, I kind of have this disdain for them because they're on so much and so often throughout the show. Because there's so many members that have their own matches, and when I'm trying to take the notes, being in quarantine with my family, I usually do this when the kids take a nap, just take my notes. But my wife's still lingering around. And she hates hearing their theme music. She gets pissed off every time. So, like, I'm at the point now where I see them come out, I have to, like, hit the 10-second forward thing until their music ends. Because she's like, shut that off. You're going to wake up the kids. You're going to wake up the kids.
The gimmick still works 20 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
The heels.
Timeless heels, baby. Timeless.
Yeah. And all it took was music.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you also took great characters away from us. Val Venus and The Godfather. You took away the hose.
That's what Godfather said when we met him. He said he hated it because he didn't get to be the Godfather anymore.
Oh. Yeah, so he was hating on it. That's funny. All right, so the match goes on, and just kind of recap real quickly so we can move on. Is the Right Censor wins. That's all. Nothing else to say. That's it.
Beautiful.
All right. Yeah, nothing special there. But now we're going to get set up on the WWE Network. All right, so now we're here for the watch-along portion of the episode, and we're going to watch the final two matches, which is The Undertaker versus Chris Benoit, and then the main event, the Fatal 4-Way, no DQ, no countout, Kurt Angle defending the WWF Championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Rikishi. And the timestamp to get synced up with us on the WWE Network is going to be 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 4 seconds. Again, that's 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 4 seconds. If you need to, just pause us and then hit play when you found your spot, and then we'll be right here. All right, so I'll count down 3 down to 1 and say play. When I say play, we'll all click play and get started. 3, 2, 1, play.
And here
All right, so we should see the Undertaker walking down a hallway, shadow boxing. How about that? You ready for this?
There they are.
You ready for me to kick your ass?
I mean,
Ooh,
it is
attacking the knee of the big man.
it is a shame that only one of these guys is in the WWE Hall of Fame. You know, for all for different reasons. But man, all four of those guys back in 2000, you would have thought all four of those guys would just have been future world champions. Maybe not Dean Malenko,
Who's the guy?
just because he was a cruiserweight. But I love Dean Malenko.
So did I.
Yeah, love Dean. I liked Perry Saturn a lot too. I just thought it's the Rings of Saturn back in WCW.
Yes.
That finisher was just so sick.
Oh, in case we missed it the last time.
Yeah, in case we missed what happened literally 15 seconds ago.
I'm glad you guys are confirming I didn't misclick anything. I'm like, did I just misclick like 15 seconds earlier?
What the heck? Why did they replay that?
Yeah, that was so strange.
You know, I can't tell that this is in the UK because they don't have the giant phone booths and the double-decker bus out there that they usually have for every UK show.
Where's the standard UK props? You sure we're in the UK right now?
Yeah.
Right, just looks like an episode of Raw.
That's hard to
I
watch.
still might think I'm having trouble hearing Travis.
I think he just popped in.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't notice.
But, yeah. Look at that. Has anyone seen my teeth?
Yeah. Toothless aggression.
Toothless aggression. That's right. Man, I mean, and this time in 2000, I don't know about you guys, Mike and JV, but Travis, I mean, you and I, Chris Benoit was our favorite wrestler, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He had won the world title back in January in WCW, and that was one of the greatest nights of my wrestling life. And then he left the next day.
Is he going to make it out? Limping, possibly?
Well, Chris Benoit, he's never the best promo. I think Travis is having problems hearing Mike.
Yeah.
I think Mike just left the call here.
Okay.
Okay.
He's joining back in right now, though, so I don't think we have to reset or anything. Not much going on yet here in the match.
Yeah, Chris Benoit arguing with old Timmy White, trying to get him to count Undertaker out, I believe. But you can't count out the dead man.
No way.
Oh, look at that sign. Dyslexia 613. That was great.
That's a classic Attitude Era sign.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, Benoit at this point, he had been through Fully Loaded, and that match was that whole pay-per-view
With Triple
was
H,
great.
yeah.
Pay-per-view was fantastic. All the young guys versus the older guys, established guys.
That was a great paper.
Yeah, it was.
Why is there so much? Like, I see a kid with neon green hair. There was a kid behind Taz with neon pink hair. Like, what's the deal with the neon hair?
It's 2000, man.
I guess so.
You had highlights in your hair, didn't you?
I did a little bit.
That was a couple years before that, I guess.
Taker shaking it off.
I had highlights too.
I was natural blonde, man.
Oh, lucky you.
Yep.
All right, so this match is kicking off. Pro just chatting me, so it looks like he's trying to get in.
Okay.
Well, he's in, but he's having mic problems.
Mike's having mic problems.
Bump.
Yeah. Oh, Ben.
Right back to the knee here.
Yep.
Kind of setting that up.
Well, JV, I think you guys have said you weren't huge fans of Undertaker in this era, right?
I wasn't. I think Prue may have been. I forget, but I was not at all. That's for sure. I I don't know why. I loved him as the Deadman though. But
Sure.
as Mark said earlier in the show, after seeing WrestleMania in the Boneyard match, I don't know, it feels like it's forced me to change my tune on Biker Taker. And now that we're rewatching and covering it since, I feel like he's kind of grown on me.
Yeah, I think that was the same for both of us. Like, I didn't care for him in the year 2000, but going back and rewatching it, he does a lot of fun stuff that you can see him coming into that character and really letting loose in a lot of ways that I didn't appreciate back then, but it's fun to watch now.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I remember huge fan when he came out in the at that was it Backlash 2000 came out as
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. Sorry, yeah, Judgment Day. And really cool to see him as that. It was brand new, but after that, I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. I don't like him. I want my Deadman. But then, yeah, like since we've been going back and watching it, it's like, man, I really appreciate a lot of this cool stuff he did and the way he was able to change his character. But here he is, just handing his butt to Chris Benoit. So.
Yeah, what's wild is how the crowd didn't turn on him with this character change.
Yeah.
Like, would this go over as well nowadays? Like, I don't know. How the crowd likes to hijack shows. I could easily have seen his original debut kind of not working out in 2020.
Sure, absolutely.
And I just feel like it's so rare nowadays for someone to change their character so drastically. I mean, guys are just. I feel like they're the same for so long. I mean, even Bray Wyatt and the Fiend. It's not as massive of a change as this Undertaker character changes. Right. I don't think.
Right.
But he's a great Undertaker's selling big time here. I mean, you don't typically see that from a big guy. I mean, he's for sure selling that knee, and he's always been good at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. As a big man, he sells so well for his opponents, man.
Yeah, he kind of, I don't know, he sells like a 6'2" guy,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look how big he is here, Alex, compared to what we're covering in 08.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's jacked up.
That's the other thing. He's solid. Yes. His gut's solid. His arms are solid.
I mean, like, look at his gut, though. Like, he's big. Like,
yeah, yes.
We're covering in 2008 now, and he is svelte, I'll say.
He is, slimmed down a lot in 2008. Has a lot more tan.
Yeah. I like how Chris Benoit's rocking the Georgia Bulldog color pants. I do like that.
You do appreciate that, yep. JV, did you guys ever watch these UK pay-per-views back in the day? Like, I mean, I know our video stores would have them sometimes. They didn't have all of them all the time, but I remember renting a few of them.
This one I did watch them, but I don't recall if I caught this one or not. I remember like the December and January pay-per-views after like 99 were a little bit more difficult for me to watch because they had like high school sports and shit like that. Except for like the Rumble. Even nowadays, I make sure I always see the Rumble in January. So I may have missed this one in December 2nd, 2000.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing this one back in the day. It was hit and miss with like our video stores, whether they would get them or not. I remember whichever one that had Jacqueline where her top came off. I definitely saw that one.
Oh, I saw that one too. Yeah,
that's Capital Carnage.
I saw that one a lot.
There he is. There he is.
Oh, I can hear Travis. Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear everybody now. I have to log back in, and then use the link again.
Yeah, Mike's in. Can you not hear him?
No, I can't hear him.
No.
What happened? JV's gone?
JV says he can't hear you.
Ah.
Well, we can all hear you.
That's funny.
This is great.
What a cluster. Maybe we'll have to take a break after this match and start over.
That's probably a good idea.
For the next match.
We were just talking about how we didn't really see these UK pay-per-views back in the day. Like our video stores and stuff, they would get some of them, but they didn't have all of them. So Travis and I, we don't think we saw this one back in the day.
Oh, this one wasn't on pay-per-view?
Either.
It was, but I mean, we weren't in the UK, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, our local video store would get them, like, when they got released, but necessarily they wouldn't get all the UK ones. So I don't think we saw this particular one. Yeah, I do remember the one with Jackie though.
Oh yeah, never
Yeah.
forget.
That one ruled.
Chocolate biscuit.
Kids these days don't appreciate
Chocolate.
random nudity like that. Like they just put it in their phones and shit.
Chocolate biscuit.
Undertaker with a rare bear hug there.
Terrible.
Haven't seen that from him too often.
No.
What are you guys at time-wise? Because I may be off.
Oh, 152, 40, 41, 42, 43.
Yeah, I'm dead on with you with that countdown. So
All right, I should be.
Oh,
152, 51, 52.
All right. Yeah, I was off a little bit. I just seen an Irish whip into
no, I
the
guess they're trying
corner.
to sell Benoit's lower back injury here on commentary, Taz. And oof.
All right, so with all my trying to get back on here, I haven't seen much of what was going on, but
It's not a bad match, to be honest.
looks like a technical match. A lot of
good psychology. Benoit's working the left leg as they started backstage, so it's good stuff.
Yeah.
right, yeah. So that's good. I set up that.
Like, Travis and I on our show, we've talked about, we don't go back and watch a lot of Benoit's matches ever since, everything went down with him in 07. But gosh, he's so good. He's so
Right.
crisp, so smooth. I mean, I forget sometimes how great he was.
Yeah, it's really easy to
Right,
forget
that's what makes it
in light
such a
of all
shame,
the
too.
Yeah.
I mean, part of
dark
it,
stuff that happened after. But man, he was definitely an A+ worker.
Oh, yeah.
Right, he was the guy. When I wanted to be a wrestler, I wanted to be him because I'm 5'8", just like he was. I don't have half the muscle, but I'm just saying, like if I wanted to be one, I wanted to be Chris Benoit. Like that's what I wanted to be.
Yeah, I always had
I
an
remember
interest in the shorter
wrestling
wrestlers too because I'm
when I
5'6" and
11,
3/4.
like in my friend's
And,
house or whatever. And we
Yeah,
watched
these short
WCW around
wrestlers
95.
gave me hope.
And we'd team up against some big stuffed animals in the house, and I would be the technical one. I'd be Chris Benoit, and then my
Yeah.
buddy would be Eddie Guerrero doing a frog splash off his bureau onto the bed.
There you go. I was doing frog splashes on the trampoline this afternoon with my kids. So
Yes.
Sweet.
Sounds like a good time.
I was also doing monkey. I was monkey flipping them across the trampoline too.
Ooh.
I got my oldest son in a surfboard, which is a move Benoit used to do.
Oh, that's one of your favorites.
It is one of my favorites. Got him in the surfboard moves. Great. Yeah, but it's not a bad match, honestly.
And that's pretty, this is the time, 2000, Undertaker's really getting into more of doing matches like this. He's doing stuff with Kurt Angle the month before. That Survivor Series 2000 match is really, really good and starting to let loose a little bit and drop, the different style that he had during the Deadman days.
Tim White, man, what a referee.
He's great. Yeah.
That's my Uncle Tim.
That was a hell of a counter by Taker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, someone with a Pete Gas sign in the crowd. Big Pete Gas fan in the
Pete Gas sign?
Yeah.
It's strange the way we're recording right now. I don't know if JV's talking. I don't know if I'm talking over him, and he can't.
There was a minute ago you guys talked over each other, but
Take your forward, baby.
Oh man.
What's our time cue here? For the
we are at 156, 27, 28,
I'm a second
29, 30.
30.
If this recording doesn't work out, I think we go cursed by
So matches
Benoit.
slow down a little in the middle of the ring.
Benoit curse. We weren't supposed to cover this match.
I have no idea if I'm talking over Mike, but
You guys are going to love listening back to this.
You guys are going to love this. It's smashing, as they say in the UK.
Oh no.
We'll get it fixed before the main event.
yeah.
Kurt
Yeah,
is
this
my
is gonna be a shit
angel. That person doesn't know how to spell angle. It says Kurt is my angel.
That's part of the fun in 2000 is just reading signs.
Yes.
Yes.
I miss it, man.
You know, Alex always talks about on our show how that's how you know you're over, because anybody can buy a T-shirt at the place, you know. But if you got to go to the store, get a poster, and write on it, make your own sign, hand make it, and bring it with you. That's how you know somebody put the time into doing that for you as a fan, you know. So that's how you know if you're over. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of these fans are like marks for themselves and will put their own name.
Yeah.
Yes, that's also fun to see too.
Like, hey, I'm Mike.
Yeah.
Good for you.
The guy behind me can't see.
Right. There was one sign right in the middle. Dyslexia.
Dyslexia 360. Yeah.
No, it's
Or
615.
631. Yeah,
Yeah,
excuse me.
613,
613, whatever.
Yeah. Pretty creative. They should have spelled dyslexia backwards, and then we'll all be confused. What the hell does that say?
We just got like a 2-second wide shot of the arena.
Yeah, that was strange.
Oh.
Oh, here it is. The big headbutt to the knee.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
creative there.
Yeah, going after the knee, so that works. Good spot.
Of course, that's uncomfortable to see him do that headbutt nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, Undertaker wins with a roll-up.
Wow.
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 With the cradle.
There you go.
Benoit is pissed.
Chris Benoit is at this point touting himself as the best technical wrestler, and
Yes.
he got rolled up here. So he's heated.
Not a bad little match, though.
No, it wasn't. That's
Not good
probably,
length of a match, too.
That's probably only maybe the third or fourth Benoit match I've watched in 13 years. So, you're welcome.
Yeah, we covered. They have a fatal four-way.
Yeah.
I think later this month in 2000, Undertaker, Benoit, or maybe it's a couple months before this, actually. I think, but yeah, we haven't covered too many of those.
Yeah, I've watched that. I've watched the Mania main event that we were at, you know, in WrestleMania 20. I've watched Benoit and Angle one time, and from Royal Rumble 2003, and I think that makes about it. Look at that standing ovation for the Undertaker.
UK always loved Undertaker too. Whenever they go over
yeah.
there, he always got a huge response.
Was Undertaker using the Roland music at this point, or is it after? Because I don't know if they're playing music instead of Roland because they don't have copyright to it, or is this the music that he was using at this time? The "You're gonna pay."
No, he didn't have that yet. I think it was Roland.
Yeah,
I think
so.
because he didn't use the Kid Rock one for very long.
No. There was an ECF&W sign in the crowd. That's just funny because in about a month they'd be dead. So
Yes.
Oh wow, yeah.
they'd had their last show. So.
All right, so we'll take a quick little break and see if we can get reorganized for this main event, and maybe we'll all be on track with each other.
All right.
Tell JV to stop the recording, and then we'll...
JV, Mike was saying if we want to stop and try to reset here.
All right, yeah. Sounds good. I was kind of waiting for some guy. All right.
All right, and we're back, and I don't know if you actually watched that last match with us or not. We had some technical difficulties throughout it where we couldn't hear each other. We'd all be in the room, but JV wouldn't be able to hear me, or Travis wasn't able to hear me, and it was just, it was
A shit
truly
show.
a truly,
There's a common denominator there.
yeah, it's me or something. I don't know. It was a true fatal four-way. And like I said, you may or may not have that. So in case that you didn't, we'll just briefly recap what happened in that match there. It seemed like the only one. Actually, Alex and Travis were the only ones able to watch that match.
We saw the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, it was a Taker match, so we had to, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
But I think you said, Mike, that it's just the Chris Benoit curse, man. We really weren't meant to record that, but yeah, I don't know if anybody heard it, but it was a really good match. All things considered.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
Benoit
Undertaker
worked on the
wins.
leg. Yeah, Undertaker wins the roll up at the end there, so gets a win, but Benoit doesn't lose any shine over it. So
No, and it fits Benoit's character at this point where he's this technical wrestler, but he's also losing matches because he's overzealous maybe,
yeah,
his abilities, and he thinks he's like this untouchable guy as a technical wrestler, but he keeps happening to lose to guys that are not really considered to be technical wrestlers. Like here, it's The Undertaker, but also he lost to Stone Cold Steve Austin in a match right at the same time too on Raw.
That was a good match we covered.
Yep.
Oh man, those guys always had good matches.
yeah.
So good stuff there. Hopefully, if you didn't watch it with us, if the audio didn't work out, because I feel like it's going to be a pain in the butt for JV to kind of mangle this all together.
I will try. I will try my best.
Or even if it's just you got audio where you can't hear me, then fine. You don't need to hear me. I talk enough. It's time for to hear some other people. But yeah, so hopefully that worked out. And if it didn't, then go back and watch it. And decent 10-minute match, and you see the Undertaker pull out the win there. All right. So with that said, now hopefully this main event will work out for us. So we're gonna get set up at the 2-hour and 20-second mark, and what you should see is the graphic for the Fatal 4-Way. And everybody's there?
Yes, sir.
I'm here.
Yes.
All right.
I'm
so
looking at 3 Hall of Famers and Rikishi.
yeah.
No, 3 Hall of Famers on
Rikishi's
the
in,
right.
right?
Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, isn't that weird?
Yeah, The Rock's the one not in yet.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Biggest star in the world. He's not in
That's why he's not in. They can't afford to get him in.
That's true.
I always figured they were just saving it for like a Miami one, but like that last time they were in Miami, he wrestled Cena, so they didn't want to do it, So maybe next time they go to Miami for a Mania, they'll induct him in. So
That makes sense.
and then at the rate they go to Florida every other year, I mean they'll be there in what 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give a countdown, 3 down to 1. Say play. We'll all click play. And if you listeners out there need a second, just pause the show, and when you're ready, just hit play, and we'll be right here waiting. All right, so let's begin the countdown. 3, 2, 1, play. All right, so it's right after the Undertaker Benoit match, and we're gonna get Taz and JR on the call here.
Why is the first E backwards in Rebellion?
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
Yeah, I
3,
don't know
but
either.
this is a fatal 4-way, so I don't know.
Is it
it's
the
like-
third event in the UK, maybe?
I doubt they
Could be.
thought that much.
That
guy was
graphic
like
stood up
Rufio.
there way too long.
It's the same reason the Dudleys and the Hardys have Z's on the end of their name, because it's
And
attitude,
Taz
baby.
has another Z on his.
Yep.
That kid
Did you
with
say
the
you
pink,
saw Rufio?
the kid with the pink hair in between Taz and JR looked like Rufio.
Rufio! Rufio!
Yeah.
There's that big Pete Gas fan
Yeah,
that we
there he
saw
is.
in the last match.
I thought you meant Rikishi.
No, Rikishi ate all the pies, as the
That's
sign
right.
said. I don't
Yeah.
know if you saw that.
Rikishi, American fat ass.
Yes. Yes.
Then it was just a poster of his ass.
How was that not a T-shirt back then? Come on.
American fat ass.
Fat shaming is still acceptable in 2020, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When it comes to Rikishi.
Yeah.
Is he heel Rikishi here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for
This
sure.
is I did it for The
Yeah.
Rock. Yeah.
Yep.
How about that 2000 era necklace that he has on, the shell necklace?
The
Shells,
shells.
yeah.
Yeah.
I never had one of those.
I did.
I did, regretfully. My dad didn't let me live that one down.
I was jealous of people that did, but I never ended up having one.
I remember I got a good one that like screwed in when you
Oh,
put it
yeah.
together.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, oh, this is like $8.
Yeah, like an American Eagle one.
Yeah.
The world champion's coming out second. You mean
Yeah.
That's weird.
you know who the real
Yeah.
stars are here?
Yes.
And Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rikishi comes out first. Yeah, you would think. Well, a lot of times during this time, I don't know if they'll do it in this match, but say if The Rock comes out next, Austin won't come out until like a minute later after everyone's already fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that was
stagger
that
up the
other
entrances.
Strategy.
show we did
Oh,
with Austin Kane, Mankind.
Yeah,
Yeah, Austin doesn't come out till like 2 minutes into the match.
right.
Yeah. Oh.
So here's The Rock.
He's in great shape here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in better shape nowadays somehow, but like I don't know. But just as far as like when he was in '96, '97, he looked kind of like baby fattish. You know, he's got a good body on him.
Right.
Future
And
movie
it looks
star.
athletic.
Yeah.
But today
exactly.
it looks like he can't move.
Right. He looks
Exactly.
Comfortable. Yeah.
Right.
Like here, he's trim. You know, he looks great. Big Papa Oos right there, man.
Yeah.
Look at that stare down. That reminds me of the opening of the No Mercy video game. Him and Triple H stare down. Did you
That's
guys
the
ever play that?
N64, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I was a PlayStation guy. Travis was an N64 guy. What about you guys?
Look at that.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
That was PlayStation. Yeah.
But I was jealous of No Mercy. I loved going over to Travis's house and playing No Mercy. It was better than any other game, in my opinion.
It was. My cousin had it, and
It's
it
still
wasn't the same.
It's still the greatest wrestling game of all time. Look at this, going at it.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Look at that, all going at it. Style
That
of
reminds
match.
me of Attitude Era more than anything else. Is just guys just running into the ring and fighting. No no waiting around, no posing, just going in and fighting.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of times Austin would just run down too, take his vest off at the top and run right in there.
Start throwing.
Yes, I loved it.
Spine buster by Austin there.
I feel like every Undertaker Austin match started in the aisleway.
Yeah.
They would just go fight. They just couldn't wait.
What we've noticed over the past year, 99 into 2000, is that every Austin match leads back to the entryway.
Yeah.
Yes,
the entrance
every
set.
single one. And this is what a Fatal 4-Way should be, in my opinion. It's just action. Like,
Right.
nobody's sleeping on the floor. You got two guys paired off and fighting all over the place.
That happens way too often today.
It does.
Somebody's
I agree.
laying down. You can't be laying down for a half hour.
Well, it's because the match is about the spots nowadays instead of the story. So I mean,
Right.
it's not. Yeah, it is what it is. It's a different style, but the best Fatal 4-Way. I mean, one of the best ever was that one we covered. Alex, what was it? Not Canadian Stampede.
Final
What was it?
Four.
Final Four. Yeah, in '97. Good
Yeah,
heaven.
Austin, Vader, Brett, and Undertaker.
Just
That
so
was awesome.
good.
So
So
good.
good. Oh,
I would
match
have to
is-
put that up there as one of our favorite moments too. Austin's
Yeah.
career.
It's just, I mean, there was non-stop action from all four of those dudes. Look at this, Rock and Austin teaming up on the Fat Man.
That Final
Kurt
Four
Angle's
match.
outta here.
Oh yeah, Kurt took his belt and he's out. I always love that, the run from behind, clothesline the guy as he's
Yes.
trying to leave.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle, I mean, such a natural for the pro wrestling business, too. I mean, he took to it so quickly.
Oh yeah, he did. It's crazy.
It didn't take him any time at all.
Develop a character and
Yeah.
And he's coming in with the gimmick or the character of one of the lamest gimmicks ever. Of
Right.
of being an American hero, gold medalist. They've tried that before in the past, and no one cares. But he found a way to get people to hate him, and it
He
worked.
made it work.
Well, and he talks about in real life, like he thought he was going to be the biggest baby face ever, and because he didn't understand the business. And Vince was like, "No, they're going to boo you," and he's like, "No, they're not." They did, and he took it though, and he turned on the crowd, and he made him in the palm of their hand. Man, he's great. He's great. Oh, did you see that Undertaker take your last ride symbol?
Nice.
What do you guys think about The Rock's boots? Did we talked about this last time?
I don't like the back of those boots.
I've never liked the back of his boots.
Yeah.
Only his calves showing.
Yeah.
Which looks like the only part he doesn't work out. So let me show them off.
I hate his boots, but you know what though? It was unique to him. Like nobody else had those. So
Yep, you're right.
So that is cool that it stands out. You know?
And this was unique to Rikishi right here. No one else had that.
No.
Well, eventually, who used to do it? Terry?
The cat?
The cat.
A lot of the divas have done it, I think, throughout the years.
Tori,
I think, did it, yeah.
Well, The Rock would get yelled at right now. He's not doing it toward the hard can.
That's true. That's weird.
2020.
He didn't even hit him.
Nope.
Elbow drop comes down and just hits the mat.
Oh, elbow from Austin.
All right, we're going to get this spot.
You couldn't quite tell he did that.
No, I didn't notice.
Me neither.
I didn't notice the low blow.
No.
One thing I did want to say about Rikishi's his ass spot there, stink face, is that you were saying that other girls did it, but it's not the same when it's some little ass.
No.
Like
It's
some
not.
nice little ass.
Yeah, it just becomes weird at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Font in her face? Something? Like,
Yeah, it's like I shouldn't be watching this. Need to see a really fat Samoan guy doing it. That makes more sense. Oh.
I'll tell you what, it is weird to see Kurt Angle with hair.
Yeah,
It's
sure
just
is.
like I associate with him being bald so much, and he was for so much of his career.
His head's bigger now too.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess that comes with age though. Like your head gets bigger.
He's also like a hunchback now too.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Those surgeries, I'm sure.
He always looks like he got stung by just got stung by bees before he gets to
Yeah. All right. I'm not the only one that thought that.
Here it is, man.
yeah, you get the stare
WrestleMania
down.
main event.
That's right. They're already starting to build, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Man, right here we go.
Oh,
Back and
man.
forth.
I mean,
That's
is it
awesome.
ever going to be to this level again? No.
No way.
No.
I don't think for us it will ever be.
Right.
Did you guys?
That's true.
Have you guys had a moment in the last 20 years since this that there was two guys that you thought could be like Rock and Austin at the same time?
Maybe Cena and CM Punk
Thank
for a
you.
little
Yep.
while.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The first two names that come to mind.
Yep.
But too bad
I
that
think-
didn't last.
I think it could have been. I really do if they'd have tried.
Yeah.
I mean, as close as you're going to get, but then they just backed themselves
The
to
fact
a corner.
those two didn't main event a pay-per-view is just ludicrous.
Well, they had. What match did they have?
The Money in the Bank, they had
Yeah.
that. but
Yeah.
That
That was a
been
big match.
could have been WrestleMania. It could have gone on much longer.
It
That's what I meant. Like a WrestleMania main
Yeah.
event.
Well,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
could have been the WrestleMania 27 main event, but
Yeah.
I
Yep.
digress.
Well, the Miz got it instead, right?
Yep, we were there. We were there.
there.
Oh, you were there?
Ah,
That's the one.
Austin with
The
the
Miz.
stomp.
I mean, I don't mind the Miz today, but Miz then, not the same.
Oh
wasn't
man,
ready. Wasn't
I was a
ready. in my
huge
opinion.
mark for Miz
Oh,
back.
we
Oh,
we
right.
did.
I
We did
was.
like the Miz back then. We still liked him, but I like Punk more. He was the biggest heel, and he should have deserved
Yeah,
that
for
spot.
sure.
So, but it's what it is. Look at Errol Hebner, your favorite referee, guys.
Oh, I hate that guy.
I
Mike's boy.
I know.
Angle slam.
Yes, sir.
Just
Oh,
a
nice.
Great move.
Olympic slam at the time.
Yeah.
When does it become
Uh,
the angle slam when he goes to TNA?
No, it's in
It is
WWE.
in WWE at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they call it during his Lesnar match. At least I've watched
Yep.
that a couple times.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Yep.
Now Roderick Strong uses it in NXT as like a transition move. So,
Yeah. That's the
Man.
worst.
Anytime Stone Cold hits
Boom!
something, this crowd wakes
Whoa.
up. Oh, Edge and Christian. Okay.
Yeah, they've been with
they're with
Kurt
Angle.
Angle.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Team X.
Team Eck.
Little lackeys.
Mine and
Their-
Alex's
their
favorite
skits are hilarious.
was Team Wreck when they had William Regal and Rhino with them too. And a couple months from now, so you'd have the W for William Regal, and then you have the R for Rhino, and then you got ECK for these three. It was Team
Yeah.
Wreck.
Oh,
It was
wow.
great.
Oh.
Oh, The Rock with a 1-2. Oh no,
Oh,
Edge. Rockstar
there's
Edge.
no DQ.
All leather. Oh, man.
Yeah, dude. Christian with hair looks weird to me now too.
That's
long
true.
hair.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the Radicals.
Yeah, here comes
We got
Saturn.
everybody.
Oh, stun it. Right in the middle of the ring. This has got to be it.
Nope, Barry
Oh,
Saturn's
no
Oh.
way, man.
Saturn and Eddie.
Man, okay, so Eddie and Austin had a little bit of interaction before Austin took his ball and went home. That was allegedly supposed to be where they were headed, and I wish they would have gotten to do that, man.
Oh,
Eddie and
at
Austin.
that time.
2002. Ooh,
Yeah,
that
when Eddie
supposed-
was awesome.
Yeah, I could have had some
Oh.
barn burners.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Another slam to Rikishi.
Wow.
Wow, because everybody else is distracted outside the ring because of the Radicals, Edge and
Kurt Angle
Christian.
steals it.
Kurt Angle is able to steal it.
There you
And
go.
Rikishi takes the pin. You know it wasn't going to be Austin or The Rock.
Exactly.
That's what he's there for.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's in this match.
Oh, here's some more guys. We got Benoit. We got
I think Dean.
is that Dean?
Yeah.
Actually, the story was supposed to be that Triple H was going to be in this match rather than Kurt Angle. But Kurt Angle was thrown into the match because Triple H wasn't able to make it because of an injury.
That's right.
That's what it was. But I think this is the way it was supposed to go the entire time. It's just
Sure.
an excuse for Triple H not to be able to go overseas. It's to say,
And for Stone Cold to dole out some stun.
yeah, here we
There
go, always.
Send the crowd home happy, baby.
Austin must stun.
Oh, and a
Yeah.
rock bottom from The Rock.
Right, this is how you got to end these shows.
Yep.
Yes.
Look at that, Austin with the assist there. I love it. Threw Eddie into the Rock. That was great.
Working as a team.
Do they chug beers together here?
Oh, guaranteed.
Come on.
Throw them in.
Radicals, man.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe they're gonna have one more beatdown.
I think Rock's planning, waiting for that rock bottom.
I think so.
Nope,
No,
never
maybe
mind.
not.
Bad angle. I thought he was too.
Yeah, he was
It looked
loaded
like
up.
it.
It looked like he was right behind him.
Lining them up.
Yeah.
That'll happen in a few months as they build a mania. So. England is Jericho, that sign says.
The Rock, it looks like they're a good team here, but the following week or a couple weeks later, The Rock's going to team up with The Undertaker and win the tag team titles. Right after this.
Yeah, that was
That was
such a
weird.
strange
Yeah.
little run. Like 2 weeks, one
Right.
week, 2 weeks, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Edge and... No, they beat right to Censor, I think. No, Edge and Christian.
Edge and Christian,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, and no one took a last ride powerbomb like Edge and Christian did.
Yeah.
He murdered those guys.
Yeah. Oh, another setup.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. They're assisting each other. There's another one. Where's Saturn?
This is great.
Come on, where's Saturn? We need bald on bald. Yeah.
There he is.
Saturn doesn't want to get in. Oh,
Bold
Dean
on
Malenko.
bold crime.
Yeah, Malenko and Saturn don't bother to go in.
No thanks.
Like, we took enough bumps already.
Yeah, the bump
There's no
card's
going
full
in there
tonight.
not taking a move from one of them.
No.
No. That's your job at this point. You get in the ring, you're taking a big bump.
Yeah.
This feels like that match was supposed to go about 5 more minutes, and they're just kind of killing time.
Right, I'm looking at the time now. There's 4 minutes left on the show.
What the heck?
Oh,
here we go.
Here we
Oh.
go. Here we go.
And whips a Rock around. They stare each other down. What's he saying?
It's weird to me. These guys are like 7 or 8 years apart of age, which is crazy to me.
Yeah,
they
because
came
Austin
up
was
like
in for
it's-
so much longer.
Yeah, but they like got big at the same time. It's just crazy.
Yeah, the Rock skyrocketed.
Yeah. Think about it. He was only there for as a full-time performer for, 6 years? That's it.
I mean, Austin was only there for
Like 8?
7.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And John Cena, Randy Orton, like 20 years.
20
Undertaker,
years.
30 years.
Taker.
you know?
Yeah, exactly. Triple H, 25. It's
Yeah.
nuts. So,
Yeah, this is right around the point where people come in, they're there forever.
Yes.
No other show in town, really.
nothing else to go
'cause,
to.
I mean, in 3 months, there'll be no more shows in town. Yeah, that's it. TNA
Right.
doesn't ever count, so. What's up,
It's funny.
Gleason? As sign says.
Gleason.
Or is it weather? It is 2000.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of somebody that's been around for so long, he's here at this point that we're covering, but then he's gone, is Kate Quick, or R-Truth. He's here in 2000.
Yes.
Okay, on our episode that we're covering, I guess it'll come out this. When's this episode come out? Tuesday? Wednesday?
Our episode,
Yeah.
This will go out tomorrow, Wednesday.
Okay.
this will be Wednesday.
Okay, so ours will be in 2 days from this. Ours when R-Truth just comes back to WWE in 2008. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's crazy. The guy's been there forever.
Ageless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
he
he
is.
looks the same as he
Looks
did
the
back
same.
in
He
Hey,
does,
Quick.
looks the same.
And he's still entertaining, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still great.
I love when R-Truth shows up on TV.
Yes. So does Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So does Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Look at this, man. I mean,
Look at
these
the-
guys can
Yeah.
do so much with so little. They know how to sell a moment,
The
these two
crowd's on
guys.
their feet. And they're
Right.
not even doing
They're not
Nothing's
doing it.
happened.
They're just like trading beers.
Here they go. They're talking some smack. Who knows?
All right, that always takes up some time. Give him a hell yeah. All right, they drink it. Someone's taking a spot. Yeah, come on.
Have you guys had the Broken Skull IPA?
I haven't been able to get it. No.
haven't
neither
either.
have I.
I do have a friend that trades beers, and he said he was going to try to get me one, but he hasn't yet.
Yeah.
They had it at the SmackDown show in Boston a month or so ago, like the last SmackDown show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know Dre. He was there, and he doesn't even watch. He's not into wrestling, but he took his sons, and they had the Broken Skull IPA on sale,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
can and all.
Well,
Did
helping
you guys
out
see The
Austin.
Rock drop a beer right there?
Yeah.
Probably like
Hey,
2 of them.
party fall.
Faux pas.
I'm always impressed with how Austin can catch those beers. Just being chucked into the ring.
Couldn't he catch him angle when he was throwing them at him?
Yeah, he was chucking them at an angle last week. We were on a show we covered.
From the ring to the gorilla
Oh, yeah.
position, basically.
Broke this monitor in the back.
What a cannon for an arm Austin had.
Yeah. All right, so it's a happy ending here. It's no stunners, no rock bottoms, just drinking some beers with each other.
The calm before the storm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just months away
Well.
from arguably one of the greatest main events
Oh,
all
without
of
question.
WrestleMania history.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's wrap things up here, and of course, thank you, Alex and Travis, for going along with us on this crazy journey today.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it all comes out sounding good, and it's funny that
Yeah.
part of the whole reason for doing the show is to do Undertaker and Benoit exclusively, and it might not happen, but we'll see.
No, we had a good time. Hope you guys can use it. And either way, it was fun to hang out with you guys again.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's been a while, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually, like I said before, we usually catch up like every 5 months or so. So, whenever you want to do that Armageddon match down the road, let us know, and we'll make an appearance on your show again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
We'll do it soon.
All right. So I'm gonna just do the bottom line wrap up. You guys can hang along with it if you want, or you can
Sure.
go if you gotta. But next week on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, we're doing episode 70. So we're actually like at the halfway point in comparison to Talking Taker. Talking Taker's at 140. We're at 170. And what's funny is I was looking earlier, and we had just covered Armageddon on episode 69, and you guys covered Armageddon 2000 on your episode 68.
Oh
Interesting.
wow, that's crazy.
And that was back in November of 2018, which was just a couple months after we started. So we're we're staggering around that, like 66 to 70 episodes behind you. That's where we're at. But and we're 8 years behind you. You're in 2008. We're just heading into 2001, so 7 years behind you. But that's what we have coming up next week is episode 70. We're still in December. We're coming off of Armageddon, so we're going to cover the couple weeks after that, leading up to the new year. So that'll be episode 70. And also, let's get into our podcast plug for our pals. Talking Taker, you gave it to us at the beginning of the episode, but one more time, episode 141. What's your topic? What are you talking about this Friday?
Well, you can find us at Talking Taker on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much any podcasting service you can find out there. We are on there. And Travis, why don't you tell them what we got coming up on this week's episode?
Shoot, what do we got coming up this week? Oh, I'm just kidding. It's I believe it's No Mercy 2008. We just closed the chapter on one of the greatest rivalries in Taker's career with Edge, and now we're lumbering into a feud with the Big Show to cap off the rest of 2008. So, actually, his feuds with Vicky Guerrero basically, but she can't wrestle, so Big Show is her proxy. So, yeah.
I like the usage of the word lumbering.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I chose that carefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say, if you folks, if you don't listen every week, if you want to find a place to jump in, go back a couple weeks to our WrestleMania 24 episode. That is where we cover a fantastic match with Edge. And it's like the beginning of a great storyline with Edge that we cover over the next few weeks. But also, Travis and I, we got to record in person. That's where we also cover our time that we got to meet The Undertaker in New York about a month ago. So it's one of the most fun episodes, one of my favorite episodes, one of the most unique episodes in our podcast. So listen this week, but if you don't normally listen to us, that's a great place to jump in. I think it's episode 135.
Awesome. So check them out. And from what I've seen, I go on the Apple Podcasts, and if I go to your show and I look down at shows that other people listen to this show, we're right there. Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. If you go to our show, you're the first one that shows up next to us. So we have a common audience. Yeah,
For sure.
All right. So anybody that hasn't listened to the Talking Taker, definitely it's time to. Also, check out Book in the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast with our friends Mike Mills, Doc Turner, and Hardbody Harper. And they are breaking down episodes of NWA WCW World Championship Wrestling. Prior to being WCW, they just had a TV show called World Championship Wrestling, and they are covering this week, which always drops on Thursdays, is December 24th, 1988, and they've started back in 85, and they've been on this long journey covering one episode a week, and they are heading into 1989 at this point. And they also do a similar show on Sundays called the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Recap, and they are on episode 192 covering September 30th, 1995. So again, that's Book in the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. Also, keep in mind that JV and I do another show on the Book in the Territory Patreon $5 tier. It's called the Extreme ECW Livecast, where JV and I do watch-alongs every 2 weeks of the old Eastern Championship Wrestling, and we're just getting to the point where it's starting to become more and more extreme. We are in March 1st. We are at March 1st and March 8th of 1994. So a lot of familiar faces in ECW at that point, and that's episodes 46 and 47 of ECW Hardcore TV. So if you want more of JV and I, check out the Extreme ECW Livecast. Try it out for a month. Book in the Territory guys have a lot of good content on there, in addition to the shows that we do for them.
Did you say Book in Territory was hosted by Mike Mills?
Yep.
Is that from REM?
I don't think so. That would be amazing.
Oh, you never told me that.
Yeah. I didn't want anybody to know.
That's just side hustle.
I mean, the lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins owns a wrestling company. It's not that crazy.
That is true. Oh.
All right, then one more friend of the show. It's our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast. And this week is episode 172. And their opening segment this season is called Fresh Perspective, where they give a new perspective on something that they once liked or didn't like, and they've changed their mind. So they have changed their mind on Todd Pettengill. They once thought he was lame and annoying, but now they like him, I guess.
I'll tell you what, man. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to grow up and be Todd Pettengill. That is not a lie.
Oh, he had a good way of relating to kids, sort of. You know,
I thought he was the funniest man on planet Earth when I was like in elementary school.
No, it's like you look back at it, you notice that his jokes are even outdated for the time. Like, how was a kid living in the 90s supposed to know references from the 70s and the 80s? But just his whole personality, it's like having the cool teacher. Even though he can't totally relate to you, he's trying better than any other adult. You know? So Todd Pettengill is that cool teacher.
He was on an episode of WWF, like where they would do the watch along thing. I think it was for what was the pay per view before Mania? I think it was Elimination Chamber, maybe. Or even
really?
Rumble. Yeah, he was on one of those watch alongs. Todd Pettengill was. It was
I'm
crazy.
Have to go back and find that.
Yeah, it was one of the ones right before Mania. So anyway,
he still does like New York radio, doesn't he?
Yeah, he still has
does
a
he still
show.
have an earring?
Unfortunately, I think so.
It probably does.
Like a black turtleneck.
Oh man, those times are great though. 95, watching.
That's my sweet spot, man.
Doc Hendricks.
Yes.
Well,
they just uploaded some more 92, 93 superstars on the WWE Network. I'm in heaven.
Oh, I've been watching.
Yes.
Since yesterday, I've watched from where they just added the new ones. November 92.
Yeah.
I've watched that leading up to Survivor Series, and I watched Survivor Series 92 today.
Same here. I'm about to watch Survivor Series probably tomorrow.
Oh, it's awesome. I was surprised by how okay it was. Better than I thought. And I think watching Superstars built me up because of all the event centers.
Exactly. Yes.
I was like, all right, I want to watch this match now.
They knew how to sell a pay-per-view back then.
Right. All right. So also on our Vantage Point this week, they're doing the Royal Rankings, and they're ranking the best WWF Tag Team Champions. And this week, the two teams that make it into the list are the Dudley Boys and Demolition. So check that out. And they also do a wrestling review. I'm not sure what show they do. They always do something random in their third portion of the show. So check them out. It's a good show. Our Vantage Point with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn. And then also, our pal Jay Free does Free or Geek. And Jay Free has a new episode out this week. JV, have you checked it out yet?
No, I haven't.
All right, so their new episode, Jay Free and KB talk about what video games they're playing during their time in quarantine to pass the time. And they're playing Resident Evil 3, Mortal Kombat 11, and Marvel Super Alliance, or whatever. What's it called? Marvel Alliance? Something like that.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I think.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance 3. So they're playing those, but they also give their review of WrestleMania 36. So they don't often do wrestling. Every once in a while, they'll sprinkle in some wrestling, and JV and I have been on a couple of the shows where they do wrestling. But this one has their recap of WrestleMania 36, and like Talking Taker and Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, Free or Geek is totally into the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse.
Yes, sir.
I haven't really heard any negativity about it from fans, like actual fans. It's more like what you guys were saying, people like Brian Alvarez or Dave Meltzer or Jim Cornette, that are crapping on the match. But,
yeah, what do they know?
That's the thing. Sometimes with people that are in the business, like Jim Cornette, like saying like, "Oh, it should be like this." Well, who are you to say? Just because you were in the business,
Right.
That's what they like to hang their hat on. Is that, "Oh, I was in the business, so this wrestler actually wrestled before in a ring." Well, I'm the fan. I'm the one that needs to enjoy it. You're not supposed to be the one that's enjoying it. You're supposed to be putting the content out there for us to enjoy.
Yeah,
So-
like I'm a fan of music, but I'm not in the music industry. But I can tell you when a song sucks or a band sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and you can say what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
Like Jim Cornette, JR, like they have a lot of knowledge. you just got to take everything they say with a grain of salt. You can't take it all as gospel.
Right.
Like, they do say a lot of smart stuff, but not every single. They're not the sole opinion. And same with Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez.
Yeah, right.
Like, they're fans, and some stuff they say is pretty good, but a lot of it you just can't take it all as gospel.
Right, because it's just their opinion.
Exactly,
And-
just like ours.
Right, and it's only because they have a large platform that they influence a lot of people's thinking,
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
Their 5 stars does not mean it's the only 5 stars.
Right. So, yeah, so good stuff there. And Free a Geek, they have their own views too. So check them out. And then, that's it. So, yeah, again, it's Free a Geek, our vantage point, booking the territory, and of course, our greatest friends of the podcast, Talking Taker. Without a
We
doubt.
appreciate that.
And,
Yeah.
right from the start, we've been in communication, and you've always been supportive of us right from the beginning. So we appreciate that. We love it. And we can hope to continue to do these every once in a while. It's a good time.
And you guys are so much smarter than us. You picked a guy with a much shorter career.
Yeah.
So, kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then, we won't have anything to do. Come up with something different, or we'll just continue with
You could-
ECW
you could
for the
do-
next 10 years.
You could do Ron Killings, just K-Quick, just
Yeah.
our truth.
Yeah.
You do a review of every Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast.
I think you should do one called Speaking the Truth, and you just do our truth's career.
Yeah,
Truth.
yeah.
There you
I
go.
like that. Now we're talking.
What's up?
We'd probably be able to get him to do the entry music, the opening
Yeah.
theme.
You might could.
You probably could.
All right, guys. One last time, thank you for joining us, and we'll try to get on your show whenever you want us. So,
Absolutely. You guys check us out, and thanks for having us on. And as always, take her easy.
all right. So I'm Mike Prue along with JV and the boys, Alex and Travis from Talking Taker. We are out of here. They're riding off into the sunset on their motorcycle, and JV and I rolling down the ramp drinking a beer.
There we go.
As we conclude
In
this,
Zamboni.
So, yeah.
In the desk chair.
Yes, one of my
That's the
favorites.
All right. So long, guys.
And that's all I have to say about that.
you live a little bit with the pain that I bring. You know it's only the beginning. Stop breaking nothing inside you. Stop making some monster hide you. I'm breaking nothing inside you. Don't run away, bring it on. Right down now. You're the next one, and I'm gonna kill you. Don't believe it, but I'm betting that you will. Stop now, I'll let you live a little bit with the pain that I bring. You know it's only the beginning. Stop off, 'cause you're the next one, and I'm gonna kill you. Don't believe it, but I'm betting